Let me start off by saying if you're only interested in the flip through of my journal, I will add a timestamp here to the screen. For everyone else, welcome. It's Barbara from Vienna, Austria. So last month, I hosted 3 retreats in Salt Lake City, Utah, my first retreats ever. So when I dreamed this up, my goal wasn't just to make a fun journal together. I wanted us to really connect and to form friendships that could last us a lifetime. Because as much as we love the creative part, we are so much more than just our art. So over the past year and a half, I've gone through my own personal transformation, and I wanted to bring that to the retreat. I wanted to share how moving your body, practicing mindfulness, and focusing on gratitude can actually change your life. So for me, those pieces are just as important as making the art. And together, they make the whole experience just so much richer. I don't want to share every detail of the retreats in this video because I do plan to host a similar retreat here in Vienna next spring. And I'd like to keep some surprises for those participants, obviously. Let me know in the comments if that's something you'd be interested in attending next year. I would love to know. So my plan is to keep it small, 2 retreats with about 12 participants each, because I want the experience to stay intimate and cozy, and I'll be sharing more details in due time. What I took away from these retreats is not only new like-minded friends, but also so much inspiration from each and one of the participants. Each of you brought your own unique creative style, and I miss you all dearly. I'm so grateful for how open you were to new experiences, to friendships, to being vulnerable. You were generous, uplifting, and I truly could not have asked for better participants. And of course, I also have to give a huge shout out to dear Kimmy, her mom Ruth, and her sister Anna, who helped make the retreats as fabulous as they were. But Kimmy especially put her heart and soul into making the space as cozy and welcoming as humanly possible. I really could not have asked for a better partner, and I hope we'll have more creative adventures next year. We might have already penciled something in. So finally, I truly believe I found my calling in doing these retreats, and I have the feeling this is just the beginning. I want to dive even deeper into a holistic approach to creativity and to life in general. I don't know exactly how it will unfold yet, but I feel in every cell of my body that this is the path I'm meant to take. And I'm so excited about seeing what comes next. So finally, here's the journal. I know you've seen it before. Actually, I have a making of this journal. I think it's a 2-part video. It started off with this original cover, which I ended up covering up completely in the front, but I left it in the back. And since you've seen it last, I think the additions I made were the glitter on the hearts here and on this dragonfly. And then I added this puffy sticker with some more glitter because you can never have enough glitter. So you can find those 2 videos linked below. It has a hidden spine. It has 4 signatures. And originally, if you have seen the videos in which I made this journal, I said I wanted to mostly write in it, which was why I wasn't worried about keeping the spine at this width because it wasn't supposed to get a lot bigger. Well, I should have known better because there's no way that I was able to keep this just with mostly writing. But I am proud because I did write quite a bit and I worked in it a lot during the time I was in Salt Lake City and in between the retreats and in the evenings and all of that. I wasn't sure I would be able to do that because maybe you know this phenomenon. You make a journal for a vacation maybe or some sort of trip. and you intend to work in it, but then you don't end up working in it. I have had that happen to me several times. So I am super happy that I actually did work in this all the time, and I had a blast. I had really the best time. Kind of felt like going back to the basics. It reminded me of the travel journals I had made years and years ago, where I just stuck in whatever, because all of these little bits that I stuck in here have significance, and a lot of these were gifted to me. There's photos in here, and this is just so meaningful. I've also made a little bit of art in here, and I've written so much in here that this whole thing is extremely valuable to me. Not only was it super fun to play in, but also it just captures the whole retreat vibe for me and my own experience. So without further ado, let's go inside. This here was the sticker that each participant got in their goodie bags, as well as this little bag here that had various charms and tiny little goodies inside. I actually posted an Instagram story on making these way before the retreats. I just love all the things just hanging out, different textures, fun little bulb clip here with some more fabric. Little bits from places that we went. When I say we, I mean Kimmy and I. So Harmon's, as it says here, it's a neighborhood grocer. It doesn't seem to be a chain. It was the best supermarket that I have seen in the area where Kimmy lived, which is Riverton. The vibes very much reminded me of Whole Foods. Although it is not specialized on organic food, it had very high quality food, and the whole vibe of the store was amazing. I could have lived there. So these here, I don't want to talk about too much, but everybody got one of these with different Frida Kahlo quotes. If you know my channel, you know I'm a huge Frida Kahlo fan. I have various Frida Kahlo art and portraits in my craft studio, so I wanted to keep that vibe. So here's another one of those. These bits here were shared by participants. I adore the bright colors of these. Here's just a small collage that I made. Here's a vintage image of Salt Lake City, Utah, and I combined it with this cute image of one of the participants. Made a very simple collage here, added some neon orange unintentionally. I did want some neon orange, but I had planned on making a design, which didn't work out because the whole pen kept spilling. But I actually love the randomness. This always teaches me to just let go, let art do its thing. Don't be a control freak, don't be a perfectionist, just let it happen as it needs to happen. Gorgeous dragonfly paperclip here. And I just want to say the amount of dragonflies that I have been gifted in form of paper clips, pins, charms, earrings, t-shirt, book images, stickers, you name it, I got it. And it was the cutest thing. And here is another photo of one of the participants. So obviously I just glued these two pages together to form a pocket. Here's another participant, dear Chris. Chris, I miss you. And she gifted me this adorable t-shirt saying, "It's a good day to teach future artists." Although I kind of have to disagree with this because the participants were not future artists. They are artists. But anyway, I love the t-shirts. And hers says, "It's a good day to make some art." This was in the garden of Kimmy's house, and the garage was right here where we had all the workshops. This was also from one of the participants. Create the circumstances for your own transformation. How cool is that, and how fitting was that for this retreat? Just made a fun pocket. I really tried to use a lot of the items that I was gifted. This was a beautiful card that I received a day before I left for Salt Lake City, and it was just the perfect timing. And this card is from dear Matilda, who I've had the pleasure of meeting here in Vienna when she visited a couple of years ago, I think it is now, or was it last winter? Maybe it was last winter. So couldn't have been more perfect. Love it, love it, love it. So I stuck that here in this coffee dyed envelope. This here was dear Kimmy. And what you see here is on the wall of her garage, and her niece actually painted that. And we ran into her niece by coincidence at, I think it was Hobby Lobby. So it was really cool that I got to meet her, and she even painted my logo. I mean, look how beautiful this is. And there was a couch right beneath it, which made the perfect photo spot. Again, some treasures from some of the participants, as well as this cute dangle here, which says "She Who Creates," which of course is the name of the retreat. Again, a piece from the participants and a receipt from Michael's. For those who don't know, Michael's is a craft store in the US, a chain actually. Again, more bits from participants. This one here is a reminder of a song that one of the participants sent to me on Instagram called Power by Sons of Legion. So dear Sandra, thank you again for sending me that, because I now follow this group. Check them out. Maybe they're on YouTube as well. I actually don't know, but I have been following them on Instagram and they are phenomenal. This was my boarding pass to the US. It was a very, very long day. So I left Vienna at 6:35. So I think I got up like at 3:30 in the morning. And then I had a short layover in Amsterdam for about, I think, an hour, 40 minutes, which was, as always, too short for this very chaotic airport. I'm sorry to all of you Dutch viewers, but I hate Amsterdam airport, Schiphol. Oh my goodness, every time I go there, it's complete chaos. And they seem to be completely overwhelmed with the masses of people that are transferring at that airport. They are not equipped for the rush of people that need to go from one gate to another gate, especially if it's from Europe going to the US, going through customs. It is a complete nightmare. Anyway, then going from Amsterdam to Salt Lake City, I splurged and got myself an upgrade to economy premium, because the regular economy ticket wouldn't have let me take more than one suitcase, and that was not going to happen with all the things I had to take. So I upgraded and was extremely pleasantly surprised by Delta Airlines that it was so fabulous. It was almost the feeling of business class, the way you were treated, the seat itself, how you could like even put up your feet, and the entertainment screen was huge. And the food, oh my goodness, I would have never expected. The food was restaurant quality. I was blown away, and it was a really enjoyable flight. It was 9 hours and something to get to Salt Lake City, and I loved it, which was amazing. I think this was on the second day after I arrived. I hit my all-time low on the scale. I had lost 25 kilos, which is approximately, I think, 55 pounds, which took me 19 months and is way over the goal that I initially had of losing 10 kilos. So currently I have about a kilo more, or a kilo and a half more to lose. And then it's about getting strong and gaining weight again, but not gaining fat, gaining mostly muscles. And that is a very, very slow process. But the goal is, as it says here, new goal, get strong as to live independently as long as possible. So that is a very, very long-term goal. And I just love that that happened basically on the second day after I got there. It was a very proud moment for me. Again, just random decorations of things that I have received, things that I have bought there as well, because if you've seen my last video, which was a haul video of all of my craft supplies that I got there, you can find that link below, by the way. You will know that I got quite a few things, and obviously I had to play with some of them immediately. So this here was group number 1, retreat number 1, an amazing group of ladies. And As I said before in my intro, I was just so grateful. They're all fantastic individuals. They're all amazing artists. And what was really very, very touching for me was the fact that having had participants, actually, I think in each group, there was at least one participant who had never made a journal in her life. And then you had the other spectrum of artists who have made journals for 10 years or so, and everything in between. So it was amazing for me at the end that not only were the newbies inspired to keep working in their journal after they get home and to make more journals, but even more so from the seasoned journal makers, that they were able to learn new techniques from me. But I get it, because everyone has their own style, and probably you keep doing similar things, the things you're used to doing, but then you are exposed to someone who does things completely differently. And of course, you're going to learn something that you haven't done before. And I guess that's the point of going to a retreat or to a workshop. But that was something I had not considered before. And to experience that was super humbling and just absolutely amazing. This was a sticker that I found at one of the craft stores. I think it was Hobby Lobby, I'm not sure. I had to get this not only for myself, but also for Kimmy and her mom and her sister, because Kimmy had actually bought us, and I just realized I forgot that mug at Kimmy's place. Kimmy, I forgot my mug. Can you please keep it for me until I return? Kimmy had bought each of us a mug saying, "Let's go, girls." So when I found that same sentiment, I just had to get that for each of us, and I just stuck it in here. That's it. Here I made a very simple collage of me in Kimmy's jacuzzi. Yes, she not only had a pool, but also a jacuzzi. I mean, I was spoiled absolutely rotten. So then the first retreat started on September 7th, and one of the participants had a set of cards, and she let each participant pick one. They were like angel cards, kind of like tarot cards, I guess. And I took this one. It's not the actual card, it's just a photo of the card, which says, "I'm tactful." And it says, "You have a desire to succeed and will feel most accomplished when your work benefits others. Your intuitive awareness of what people want allows you to come up with innovative solutions to meet their needs." Like, what? How could this be more fitting for my first retreats? I mean, it was incredible that I took this card without seeing what it actually was. And another super interesting fact was that on September 7th, I had seen this post on Instagram. It was the most powerful moons of 2025. It says, "It's a time of endings, rebirth, and transformation. Let go of what no longer serves you and step into your highest path." Again, could not have been more perfect for the first retreat. And actually, this moon was relevant from the 7th to the 9th of September. And that's exactly what the dates of the first retreat was. So absolutely mind-blowing. But then again, not, because if you believe in these things and you believe in the universe has your best interest at heart and supports you in your endeavors, then this just totally makes sense. Another photo with one of the participants. This was dear Macarena. What a cutie. Love you, Macarena. We are obviously still in contact. This was a fun envelope and circle here that was gifted to me along with a paper clip and a fun dangle, but this was from someone else. It doesn't matter. I just wanted to incorporate all of these fun things that I received at the retreat, and this is just a fun photo. I was forced to jump into this little Jeep here to have my photo taken. This was a little walk we took at lunchtime with a small group of people who wanted to walk, and that was just a blast. And do I have anything inside? Probably. Yeah, it's another receipt, this time from Hobby Lobby. I think this was a paper that I actually brought with me. Then this is from another participant. Also, this stamp here was from one of the participants. Love this. And we have another receipt again from Hobby Lobby. This was a really cute embellishment made by dear Betsy from Idaho. And it's made with layers of dryer sheets, I think she said. So cute. And by the way, I forgot to mention that photo that I showed you at the beginning that was in here. That was Betsy as well. I forgot to mention her name. Sorry, Betsy. Again, from one of the participants, a little paper bag here. And inside I have, oh yeah, a beverage coupon from Barnes & Noble, because we went to Barnes & Noble, Kimmy and her daughter and myself, and we had a blast there, mostly just looking at beautiful covers of fantasy books. It was so much fun. I had to get this Howdy sticker. There's just such a country vibe going on in that area. I just love it. So this is not the best quality photo, but this is group number 2. This was the largest group. So it was a smaller group, large group, and again, a small group, which was great. Also for me to just learn what is a good size for a group, for what I do with them. And I know now that in the future, I want to keep the group smaller. So we had, initially it was supposed to be 18 participants. We ended up having 17. And I just have the feeling that the smaller groups are better because the energy is different. And I also think it's probably easier to open up and be vulnerable in a smaller group where the setting is more intimate than in a large group like this. But they were fantastic. They had a lot of energy and they were a lot of fun. And again, I miss you girls. This was again from someone else. And inside again were some goodies that I received and I wanted to keep in here. Can't share the other side of this because it has personal details there. So you see how much I've been writing. I'm so proud of myself. Here is a note that was left from Bobi, who also has her own YouTube channel. I will link her channel below. She's a lot of fun. And Bobi had written this on the paper that we had covered the tables with. It says, Kimmy and Barbara, words cannot express how much this time has meant to me. Aw, Bobi. I have yet to see your video where you show your retreat journal. I don't know if you've done that. I need to check your channel. This business card I put here because Kimmy took me to a personal training, and actually I attached this tiny little dragonfly charm here, which is hardly visible. Kimmy took me to her personal training, so there were like, I think 6 ladies in that group and a personal trainer. And you had, I think it was 3 different stations, and you are at each station with your partner, and you have an exercise for a certain amount of time or a certain amount of reps, and then you switch the exercise and then you move on to the next station. So that was fun, something totally different to what I usually do, but I really enjoyed that, especially doing something like that together with Kimmy, who is very supportive herself. Super simple collage. Again, my neon orange pen just leaked, which worked out great. There's a little dragonfly here, and this was from a fabric snippet that we made during the retreat that was left over. I also had to get this cowgirl boot sticker. And underneath here we have some sparkly things which I experimented with. I did show this in my haul. It is fun for backgrounds, but I definitely need to experiment more with that. And this was a coffee that came from one of the participants. And I put something in here. Yeah, another receipt from Hobby Lobby. Oh, I guess we went 3 times. I had forgotten about that. And here we have retreat group number 3 from September 17th to 19th. So this was the smallest group. Again, amazing artists. I loved to get to know each and every one of you. I miss each and every one of you and hope to see you sometime in the future again. Here's another part of that fabric snippet roll, which I made into a tuck spot. And on the last day, Kimmy wanted to make a surprise for me, and we went to Park City which I think I've been to before many years ago, and it's like a skiing town which is probably super packed in winter, and they have a so-called mountain coaster where you are on one of these trolleys or whatever you want to call it, and you go through the forest at a pretty fast speed. I have to admit I was kind of scared shitless at the beginning because I do not like speed. But I did it anyway because I thought, I'm constantly talking about getting out of your comfort zone, like during the retreat especially. And I thought, okay, even though the whole retreat experience was out of my comfort zone, I thought you need to put your money where your mouth is. Is that the saying? Why is that the saying? That is such a weird saying. I don't want to put money in my mouth. But anyway, I think you get the idea. So I did it anyway, and I was so proud of myself because it was fast, but you did have the option to brake a little bit, although they told you at the beginning, do not brake, because if you brake, then the one coming behind you could possibly crash into you. So I very sparingly used that brake, but I knew I could if I had to, and just knowing that made me feel more at ease. And it was great. I mean, it was a perfect time of year. The leaves had turned orange and yellow and red, and you go right through all of these beautiful trees, and it was just an amazing experience. So thank you again, Kimmy, for this fun experience. I will do this again anytime. And there's a picture when we got on just before the ride started. There's Kimmy, there's me. Oh, it was so much fun. Frida Kahlo stamp. One of the participants, I think it was Dina. Dina, was it you? Had this set, and I have more of that, more stamps of that set here. I just love these. I think they were from Dina Wakely, if I'm not mistaken. There's this heart. So that's all one stamp set. We have these flowers, and then we have, this says make your mark, and then we have paint your truth, spill your story, and oh, we have that twice. So I can still use these somewhere. So those go in here. Another beautiful sparkly dragonfly I was gifted, and I just added some of that orange in the background and some sparkles in the background. I mean, some pink neon thread and the sentiment. She was herself again. And inside here, these were some more goodies that were gifted to me. Some handmade tags. How cute are these? Of course, we have dragonflies again. Another cute note. Barbara, thank you so much for coming to Salt Lake City, Utah, from Jody. Then a super simple collage here. Again, in front of that beautiful wall here, together with Kimmy, with the t-shirts that both Kimmy and I got. So you can't see it here, but they're both dragonflies, and mine actually said 49 dragonflies underneath the dragonfly in a beautiful script. And Kimmy said something else, inspiration or something like that. Yeah, and then just some bits that I had received during the retreat and a butterfly. These things I picked up from a cafe called Atticus in Park City. I just had to have this because October, Halloween, and pumpkin spice. It said pumpkin spice cult because everything there is pumpkin spice. I think everything in the US is pumpkin spice at the moment. And then I also had to get this sticker here. And this was actually from my suitcase because it was so heavy. They put that on there. And another photo of Kimmy and myself on that last day driving to Park City. It was just gorgeous. And this business card from a Western store. So much fun. By the way, if you want to see more footage on the retreats, I did post quite a bit on my Instagram stories. So if you want to go to Instagram, you can still see them because I saved them under the retreat highlights. So here's my account. And when you're on the account, you can see highlights here. These are called highlights, all these round things here. And I have one here that is called retreat. And under that, you can see not only the things from before the retreat leading up to it, but also, you know, all the things that have happened there. And you see, here's an actually here, I can show you what the room looks like, Kimmy's garage, which is just huge. And look at all those beautiful decorations that she put up on that wall. And here you see the logo again. It was just amazing. Such a cozy space. There's me sitting on the bench. Here's some of the footage. A beautiful journal Michelle had made. So much inspiration in that. And just a whole lot of retreat footage and what they made and preparation in between. Here is me talking a little bit. All of these things. So have a look at those if you want to. So only a few more pages to go. So some more retreat goodies here that I made into a tuck spot. Here are some of the journals. I think this was from group 3. So fun. A dragonfly dangle with a little bell. From the most incredible Western hat store where Kim and I went twice. This was again in Park City. Oh my goodness. And we have some great ideas for next year already. Something super unique and we are both so excited for. Oh my goodness. This was from one of the beautiful galleries. They have a lot of galleries in Park City and just amazing artwork. And this one was for free. I really love it. This is something super special. I don't want to go into details here. It's super, super personal. But this is from my friend Maureen. She made this for me. And here's just some random photos. Kimmy's cowboy hat, which isn't really a cowboy hat. It's a straw hat, but it has like the shape of the cowboy hat, which was way too large. Then I bought myself this Hello Kitty pink t-shirt saying howdy. And then Kim lent me her boots just for the photo, the cowboy boots. And then this is Kimmy's car, and she had actually put shewhocreates.org sticker on the back of her car. So how cool was that? And then she also has this amazing, huge skeleton right by her house. Like, what? Only in America. And I just love it. These were the name tags that all the participants had. And here's just some more fun photos. This was Kimmy's mom, Ruth, in case you ever see this. Sending lots of love and hugs to you. I miss you. Anna, you as well. And yeah, this was in Park City. Look how beautiful. And this was a gallery of hats from that hat store I just talked about. And this was, I think, at a different store, or was it the same store? I don't know. But how gorgeous is this? So much inspiration here. And that is it. Whew! It's so much fun reliving this experience through this journal, and I will treasure this journal forever. I can only highly, highly recommend, if you ever have an amazing experience, document it as well as you can, because that way you can relive it not only with photos, but with all kinds of ephemera that you received and notes you have taken and all that. It is the best thing ever. So as mentioned, let me know if a retreat in Vienna in spring is something you would be interested in. But in any case, hope to see you in the next video. Love you guys. Mwah, mwah.